I do, 'cause I'm not going nowhere. I'll be right here. Yes, and love is forever and life, like a feather drifting by with the weather. It don't last forever, but you and I, we're gonna live forever. The flesh won't die, but the spirit moves together. Close your eyes, your soul is untethered, yeah. Leave your body and never die. Yes, love is forever and life, like a feather drifting by with the weather. It don't last forever. It won't last forever. It won't last forever.
Okay, rolling? All right.
It's like an old freight liner delivering the truth, not trying to change your point of view. It's like a mountain climber climbing the highest peak. I gotta get there someday, certainly. Living life wide open, I'm gonna be set free. I'm gonna live the life that I please. I wanna be a high roller, I wanna be a Jedi. Don't you know I got the force deep down inside? Valley so deep, river so wide, nothing gonna stop me from the other side. Living life wide open, gonna be set free. Gonna live the life that I please. Dreams come true, baby, yes they do. I've been working at mine since I was 2. I've been working at mine, so should you. It's like an old freight liner delivering the truth, not trying to change your point of view.
Yeah.
It's always so much fun here too whenever like the kids are taking lessons and stuff. Just
It's beautiful.
like just the energy. You see people that are learning what their passion is, right?
It's so cool, man. Yeah, that's you know, very important, I think, with children, is to expose them to, you know, different instruments and different, you know, musical things, and see if they, you know, they bite, you know. Because I didn't have a similar, I came from a small town, I didn't have a music store, but luckily my pops played, so like he taught me.
There was a guitar around the house then?
Yeah, just guitar around the house.
When did you start playing?
I was probably like 12 or 13.
Did you like start writing songs immediately? Is that what you wanted to do, or what?
Almost, yeah. Probably was like a year later. I stared trying to write songs when I was like 14, maybe.
Do you remember any of those like first songs that you wrote?
I don't, man, and I don't think I want to, to be honest. I did find, though, my sister found a CD in storage, like a burnt CD, like probably a year ago, and it was my high school band, and we were like 15 or 16, and I remember I had a BR, like 57 4-tracker, and like we recorded on it, it's like 10 songs of like our high school, you know, band.
What genre?
It was like I guess you would call it like, hard rock, like heavy metal.
Yeah.
Like we were into like, Breaking Benjamin and like.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
all that. And so it was kind of reflected that a little bit, but a little Southern rock because we were into Skinner too. And so
Yeah.
kind of like a mix of that.
That's a funny mashup too, because it's like,
It's
yeah.
funny. But I listened to him and I was like, okay. Like I wasn't as cringed out as I thought I would be. I was, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
But some of it I was like, oh, okay, that wasn't too bad for a 15-year-old,
I mean, but when you were writing your first songs, they were on acoustic, and it probably wasn't that. You had to get with some dudes that were,
Yeah, for sure.
plugging in some distortion or whatever.
Exactly.
Was it the what's the pedal, like the Boss, Max? What's the Boss pedal that everybody hit? The Metal Zone.
Metal Zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it a Metal Zone?
Yep, there was a metal zone in there.
There's always a Metal Zone. It's either that or the Rat.
Yeah, we had some of that.
If it's not one of those two things, then I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's because they're cheap and whatever. But
Yeah, man.
But you do what you can. I mean, those are like good memories, I'm sure.
For sure.
Do you feel like, I don't know, as your songwriting has progressed, do you like rely on your childhood past memories kind of a thing to generate who you are now, or do you feed on that any?
I probably do at a subconscious level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure. But I'm generally like moving forward, usually with life. I try to stay present and but yeah, I'm probably sure subconsciously, I'm sure that affects me, no doubt.
Yeah.
Actually, I know it does, maybe in ways I don't know about, but yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, where you're from, right? Like that's that's something that's kind of present in your music. Like, and just listening to you, obviously, there's a couple albums ago, you had a OPELIKA song, right? So it's like there's a lot of train references in that album as well, and
Exactly.
like not that a train is unique to Opelika, but obviously it's influenced where what you've kind of written about. Oh, and JED, there's a reference to JED, yeah. So
yeah, I was big on the letter thing, I think.
Hey, it worked in that song. I mean,
it did.
It was like,
it did.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, that's why I like making records, because they're kind of like time machines. I can like listen to them and be like, it'll take me exactly back to where I was, and I'll be like, oh, I remember that.
Man, you set me up perfect, because that's Lee County's Finest, the record that was on. Did I get that right? That is right. Okay, I was going to make sure I wasn't mixing that up. That album is really immersive. Like as soon as you put it on, there's some of like the recordings of people talking.
Yeah.
It's like it's a front porch kind of a feel, and the crickets are doing their thing and whatever. And it ends the album that way too.
Yeah.
So like the whole thing felt very like thematic or something. Like it was all in this one universe. Like you created this universe, and that album exists inside of it.
For sure.
When you were, it's maybe specific for that album or for like any other of your projects, do you like think about the world you're trying to create before you get into that album, or does that just kind of like flesh itself out through the process? Do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely think about it, for sure. I think that whatever is going on in my life at the time is like what I put through the music. Mm-hmm. And so, at that time, I just was like, I want to make a record, with my Nana's voicemails in there. And, and these certain things that, were from the past, like Carter family recordings, like in between the songs. And so, yeah, I think there is a little thought about the world building and universe building, for sure.
Well, I mean, Krishna Country Gold would have that same sort of... Yeah.
That was similar, but way different, because I, blacked out and I woke up and I was like, oh, that was a very powerful experience for me, because I found a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, and at this place I was living in Opelika. It's an ancient Indian Vedic scripture.
Yeah.
And it just blew my world open, and that record I feel like was something else coming through me. That was less of BB and more of something. I was more of a plug outlet, on the wall. If that makes sense.
It absolutely
I was
does,
a guitar being played. How I play guitar, I was an instrument being played.
Yeah. I've heard the reference before of being tuning the radio station in the right frequency or whatever you channeled it.
There you go, Rob. Exactly. Yeah. So that was crazy, deep spiritual experience, where I didn't have that on any other thing I'd done before.
Why do you think that happened?
Oh man, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, just God and the universe, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it was something that was like, you know, like, because I think back on it, I'm like, how the hell did I even do that, you know, like, because I was like, I don't even remember that, you know, hardly. I'm like, I look back, I'm like, how did I find the people and, you know, how did I take the Indian instruments and the scales and tune them to Western? Like, when I think back on it, I'm like, that's just crazy, man.
Yeah, somehow it bridged the gap in like a dance hall Western met, you know, Ravi Shankar's Beatles
Exactly.
influence kind of a thing. So yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that was crazy, man. Well, yeah, it was a special experience for sure.
You said you're doing 2 new albums, right? One's done,
Yeah.
one's in process.
Right.
What's I mean, do you remember doing those, or do you remember this? Are you going to remember this?
I'll remember it, I'm sure, for a little while.
No, fair. So
yeah.
like independently, I know that they're two different
Yeah, for
different
sure.
things. So like the one that's ready to come out, what's that? What's
Okay,
going on
so
with that?
that's another fusion record. That's I'm doing it in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a place called the Greenhouse Studio in Atlanta, and I've been working on it for 2 years. And that's taken my love for hip hop and Wu-Tang and like combining it with like 70s country. So it's like Waylon meets Wu-Tang. It's like kung fu country music.
Okay.
It's called Alabama Samurai, and so.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm really excited about that record. And I just like busting open country music a little bit because it's so boxed in and limited to me sometimes, you know. And it's like, man, what if you know, you took this and brought it in and expanded it a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that it's important to do that in any genre, because if not, you kind of get recycled stuff and nothing's, you know, I'm not saying I'm the first to do this or the first to do that, but I think it's important to try different things and try to let it happen naturally. And so with that, I just had been in love with Wu-Tang for like, you know, ever since my buddy showed them to me years back, and I rekindled that fire like 4 years ago with the guy from the Greenhouse Studio, Aaron, aka Loud Dave Noise, and he's like, he kind of helped steer the ship. He's like, what if we brought these samples in and dropped these samples in? And so it's interesting. I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a big. I mean, obviously with hip hop, there's the sampling universe. Like that's what it was kind of built on, and people taking stuff from other people and whatever. But I feel like. That's kind of present in like Western songwriting, country Western songwriting, dancehall songwriting, that sort of thing. Is like the part of the things that people need to be able to shuffle their feet to the tunes and that sort of stuff. So there's like a fine line between that. You hear George Strait songs and whatever, and people can line dance to it. You hear
Bob Wills,
sure,
all that too.
Yeah, it seems like maybe throughout all of the music there's such similarities that it's not. It isn't. There's no box, right? Like you were saying, there's like these are ideas that we've kind of placed things together and said, you know, well, that doesn't go with this or whatever. But there's no reason. There's no reason, right?
No reason not to try it and see what works.
Sure. I mean, I heard this recently. It was Max. I may get this wrong. It's something about good artists borrow, great artists steal. You familiar with that saying?
Oh yeah. I live on that.
But that's what samples are, right?
Sure.
Like you wouldn't have like Sugar Hill Gang or whatever originally is sampled.
You wouldn't have any of that,
right?
Right. You wouldn't have any of these great samples. That's what I loved about, especially 90s hip hop, is they took all the samples from, you know, all over really, but really there's this movement like where they take, you know, like the 70s soul samples, people like, you know, Al Green and people like, oh man, I can never remember their name, but they took a lot of, you know, like Bobby Blue Bland and like, you know, these great samples, and even, you know, Steely Dan, you know, was sampled, and, you know, Lou Reed was sampled with Tribe Called Quest when they did Can I Kick It? That's a Lou Reed, you know, sample. And so I think I love that about hip hop. I love that, you know, that when it comes to sampling in hip hop, that all these great things from all these different places are taken and brought in and brought to a new audience. I think that's dope.
How do you, with all the world out there that you could be taken from for an influence, how did you narrow it down to just be hip hop for this album, or how do you even narrow down like the art that you're trying to create? Because there's so much.
Yeah, there's so much to choose from. I just do it from what I feel most passionate about at the time, and like I said, what's going on in my life, you know. And so, you know, when I was making this record in Atlanta, Wu-Tang was very present and I love not only the samples and the style, but I love like, you know, I'm not like rapping or, you know, hip, you know, I'm not like an MC on this record. I'm singing, I'm doing what I've always done. I just taking that samurai mindset in. And I like Wu-Tang because they say that the tongue is a symbol for the sword, you know. And so it's like I'm taking that that ferociousness found in like hip hop lyrics and bringing it in. And so that's whatever is present in my life that I'm really passionate about. That's how I know. It's like there's like this compass in me that's like drawn to something at the time, and it's like, okay, I'll use that for this record, and I'll use this for this record because it's what I feel deeply about right now.
How did you develop the ability to listen to yourself?
Oh man, through a lot of hard times and difficult times in my life.
Where you had to trust yourself.
Where I only have myself. And so it's like, you know, when you go through, it's like how a diamond is made, through pressure, right?
Sure.
Through heat, through, you know, and you can either, you know, like give in, or you can be like, no, you know, like this time is making, you know, me go deep within myself and try to know myself. And once you do that and you're like, oh, I have a compass in there. Everybody has one, you know. Some are covered up with dust, you know. I was just trying to wipe away some of that dust so I can really feel that feeling that we call it a gut feeling or intuition. Listen to that because it's like real. So that's just, you know, times in my life that have been difficult times have really helped me discover that.
Yeah. And now you can rely on it, right? Like it's like a muscle maybe a little bit where you lean into it, you got to use it a little bit. And then after a while, you're like the confidence builds up to where you can like fully explore that or whatever. Like that muscle strong enough where you don't question yourself at some point. You're just like, yeah, let's do it.
That's it,
Not
Rob.
that you're beyond question.
No, I'm not at all, man. I don't say,
heart,
I don't say that. I definitely have like questions and doubts, just like, we all do. But there's a little more clarity, you know, when you've like kind of worked on that. And also that's what the Christian Country Gold thing did. I did pranayama and I learned raga and I learned, you know, asanas and Sanskrit, and that like there's certain spiritual practices that you can do that'll wipe away some of that dust and that ignorance, and you can like feel less confused, you know, and more sure of yourself. So that's another reason why too. But yeah, like any human, I have doubts still, but I know in my heart what's up, you know.
Yeah, I love that you're willing to share some of that too, because I think a lot of people, maybe especially in songwriting, like you want to write something that other people like, right? You want people to like it. Yeah. But maybe the whole key there is that like they just want you to be you to some degree, and so it's like, are you able to kind of not write for somebody else, but write for yourself and follow that through and like and be the artist that that you're led to be or whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's talk about the Montgomery album a little bit. So what's going on with that one? And you had Alabama Samurai, which is like, you know, looking forward to that. When's that come out, by the way? I don't want to skip that.
I think we're trying to drop the first single for it December 14th or 15th.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll be doing like a waterfall of singles when the whole record come out, maybe late February.
Yeah, gotcha. So then you got another one that's almost in the bag. You're recording it right now in Montgomery.
I am. I signed a one album record deal with a place called Alabama Sound Company in Montgomery, Alabama, and it's ran by the visionary great friend of mine, Brett Robinson, who played pedal steel with Whitey Morgan for a long time, and he like left that and decided to open up this studio that is like based in vintage recording. So Brett's like, you know, I'm starting a label and, you know, I'd like to offer you a deal for, you know, a record. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So that is like, we've been working on those songs for probably, you know, past 6 to 7 months really, and we're almost finished with. We have 9 of them. It's a 10-song record.
2 of them you played tonight.
2 of them we played tonight, right? Yeah. And so those are different. I kind of wanted to go back to simplicity on that. like my heart and my compass, like I was telling you, told me like, all right, go back to simplicity, go back to, broader themes, less specific and more broad. And a lot of things happened in my life where I fell in love at the time. And so it's kind of a collection of love songs, really.
Yeah, awesome.
And so that's going to be cool because Brett has taught me how to be a way better songwriter. He's like a hands-on producer and engineer, and he takes the songs and he's like, all right, well, let's change this chord, try this chord. It's like a jazz chord, I was like, I've never heard of that chord before, you know what
Sure.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I love that because I've learned so much as a songwriter through that. So that record will probably be out, maybe in the next, a little after the Alabama Samurai record. Probably.
So sometime 2026.
Yeah, 2026, maybe spring.
Yeah, gotcha.
So.
Cool. We're here with B.B. Palmer in the beautiful Spicer's Acoustic Room, Spicer's Music, Auburn, Alabama. Thank you so much, man. I've really enjoyed the songs that you were playing earlier. Enjoyed talking to you. It's so cool to have artists come in here and play and just share about how it is that they got to be doing what they're doing. So I really appreciate you opening up, man.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks for having me, man.
Big thumbs up.
There we go.